Welcome to Real Families, Real Answers. Advances in technology have brought great blessings to our lives, but also great danger. Pornography and other harmful media pour into our homes through television, radio, magazines, and now most often through the internet. More and more, all of us are exposed to harmful media, and as a result, all of us are at risk.
And nowadays, you got kids that get on the internet and they can just punch up anything they want.
It's so pervasive through all of the media.
It's one of the main causes that breaks and ruins a relationship.
It's very dangerous, in my opinion, to expose young people to that, and it gives them the wrong idea about family and morals and values.
How to control it, I don't know. I wish there was a way to stop it, because I think it is damaging.
And I think there are a lot of adults that are addicted to pornography.
It can control you. It's like an addiction.
Pornography is just the demoralization of something that's beautiful.
It creates a expectation that isn't normal, that isn't real.
I've been in counseling, and over half my group, when I was in group, were affected by internet pornography.
Traditionally, pornography was relegated to the seediest parts of town, the back rooms of questionable retailers, or placed under the counters of convenience stores, where it would be available only to adults. Not so anymore. Technology allows it to enter our homes through countless portals, even cell phones. In this episode, we will visit with therapists who specialize in pornography addiction. We will hear from those who have suffered from its effects. We will learn why pornography is so damaging to relationships and individuals. We will also learn how to keep its influence out of our homes and how to help loved ones if they become ensnared in pornography addiction. Pornography is more accessible now than at any other time in human history. But what are the numbers? Just how prevalent is it? According to the National Coalition for the Protection of Children and Families, teens are exposed to sexualized messages in the media an average of 38 times per day, 365 days per year.
The average teenager, as an example, in the United States receives 14,000 sexualized messages every year, much of which is pornographic in its content.
The majority of adolescents in our culture right now are being exposed or seeking out this material.
In the United States, as an example, the pornography business grosses more revenue than NBA basketball, NFL football, and Major League Baseball combined, over $1 billion a month in this country alone. It is definitely more available than ever before.
Not only are pornographic and sexualized messages more prevalent, but there's a surprising new growing audience.
A lot of women that were former porn actresses are now actually starting to rise through the ranks to become managers of distribution and manufacturing companies that actually promote pornography. And because they're trying to target different markets, they actually go after pornography that would be appealing or more desirable for women.
It's no longer this big boys club company and industry, that there's women involved in making it, producing it, distributing it, and using it.
The research indicates that among our teenagers in the United States who are intentionally downloading internet pornography, about 40% of them are females. And so we need to be aware that this is a threat to all of us, including males and females today.
In addition to the growing number of teens and adults who view pornography, there are also some alarming statistics regarding children and early exposure.
It's almost unimaginable to think that the average child in America is exposed at the age of 8, but that's what the research says today.
Children can access some of the most vile, graphic, hardcore material that exists with the click of a mouse.
Parents are often naive about that. They believe either that nobody gets exposed at that age, or they certainly believe that their kids are not getting exposed. Parents are shocked to find out 3 years, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, that their kids have been looking at these materials for a long time and have wound up in a situation where they can't stop.
All too often, adolescents who become addicted to pornography take that addiction with them into adulthood. And statistics remind us that in most cases, it escalates. The result of long-term addiction has devastating effects on future relationships as well as in marriage. We visited with a woman whom we will call Kelly. She, like a growing number of others, was completely unaware of her new husband's addiction to pornography.
We had been married 6 months, 7 months or so, when he came home from work one day and had actually spent the day at a park writing me a letter. He gave me the letter, and I read it, and it outlined a struggle that he had battled for years. And he described to me his pull towards pornography and how he couldn't escape from it despite how much he had tried, and that he had thought that getting married was going to solve this and be the end of this.
It's pretty erroneous to believe that if I somehow get married and start having or get involved with a partner, a committed relationship where I start having sexual relations, that that's somehow going to be an antidote to a pornography problem. That's just not what we're seeing.
Pornography habit does not stop at marriage. Sometimes it will go on hold for a time. But most often it comes back and comes back with a vengeance.
So he spent the day writing the letter to me, thinking he was going to come home, hand it to me, and I would pack my bags and be out the door. I can only imagine how hard the afternoon had been for him, because he really believed that. He thought, once I tell her this, she'll leave me. And I know that what he wanted was a happy marriage and a happy home and all the things that come with it, the kids and everything. And his eyes were being opened to how serious his issue was, and he knew it threatened those things. My understanding of what pornography was very naive and very limited. I just thought that he might struggle for a little while, but then we'd get past it and move on. I had no idea that my husband was coming in. He might as well have been saying to me, I am a cocaine addict.
The fact is, it is addictive. The same thing that happens in the brain chemistry with cocaine, as an example, happens when people begin to use pornographic materials and experience sexual activity related thereto.
We know that it takes approximately 0.3 of a second for an image to enter the eye and start a physiological chain reaction in the body. That's very rapid. And that mood-altering experience is what people get hooked on. It's a rush. It's exhilarating.
Sexual addiction, and particularly internet pornography, is going numb. It's having no feelings. It's trying to escape from something you don't want to feel initially. But then before you realize you've crossed over into that area so many times, you can't get back. And that's what becomes so frightening.
I think when we both reached the point that I wasn't so naive to it anymore, and I understood this thing has a hold on my husband, then, I don't know, I kind of sank into momentary despair.
It is very typical for the spouse to feel, when they first find out, devastated, betrayed. It is profoundly a depressing experience.
Pornography has many devastating effects to intimacy and to marriage relationships generally. It kills it. Pornography and intimacy do not go together, and that's one of the big lies that the pornography industry tries to capitalize on, is that using this material will educate people, will spice up marital intimacy.
As time went on, the danger I saw for me was that I was losing all sense of self. There was nothing to me except the wife that was trying to help the husband get over pornography. That's it. Just packing my bags and walking out the door. How do you do that? This is the person that I love, that I thought I was going to spend my life with, that I was going to have children with. How do I just say, you're not perfect, therefore I'm leaving, and discount every good quality that is in him, because he isn't all bad?